What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Augi, the CEO of Chromatic, has been hosting a $1,000 Dungeon Defenders Awakened tournament this weekend. Round 1 was yesterday. Round 2 we had until noon Eastern Time to get our best run submitted into it to try to advance in Round 2. This is my Round 2 submission. The challenge here is it is a medium difficulty survival run. Not too tough, right? And we are actually going to be doing the ramparts on survival. However, the kicker is it's got to be with a brand new hero deck. You're not allowed to use any of your current gear. You're not allowed to upgrade any of your items that you find, and you can only use gear that's found on the map. So the first thing I need to do is go ahead and create some new characters here. Let's go ahead and start off with a monk. Then we will create a squire. The poor huntress is getting left out on this one, y'all. Hate to do it, but it is going to happen. Then we're going to make an EVA. Going to add in an apprentice. The apprentice is only going to get use through the first probably 10 or 15 waves or so. I can tell you all the strat that I'm going for here. The strategy I'm trying to shoot for is I'm going to use proton beams all the way up until level 20. At level 20, I am then going to go ahead and switch up and switch over to wisps. And the reason being is just at level 1, proton beams are just so powerful. And then, of course, the wisps, once they get a little bit of stat, they're going to be quite powerful as well. So this is going to be my 6-hero deck that I go with. We've got a monk, a squire, an EV, apprentice, a warden, and the rogue. I'm still not sure if I'm going to give the rogue any gameplay here. The most DPS you're going to have is by getting a staff. So, of course, that would be the EV or the apprentice. However, the rogue offers a lot of survivability with the stealth and just being able to maneuver around the map. So still not sure what I'm going to do there, but let's go ahead and hop on into the ramparts and get things started. So this is medium difficulty, no hardcore, no rifted, but we're all level 1. Now, with that in mind, we're starting at wave 1, of course, and the object is to make it as far as you can. So if it comes down to a tie, it will then go to the time, and whoever gets it done quicker will win that particular round. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start things off. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I think Wave 1 is the toughest all the way up till probably Wave 15. Wave 1 is just super duper hard. Just getting through this very first wave. Do I want to start off with an X? Yeah, let's go ahead and start off with an X there. Here, it's a little bit suspect starting off with an X because this path is so wide. But let's see how much mana we have left over. Actually, it looks like we're going to have plenty. So let's go ahead and put a third beam directly down the middle. Now, this run will take probably, I'm guessing probably 2.5 or 3 hours. So I am going to jump through the map here. I'm going to show you the build I start with up until getting the build finished out, and then we'll switch over when I make the conversion. But let's just go ahead and get things started here. Of course, the very first wave, we are going to have to pay attention to just about everything, as we got no power, we got no nothing, we're all level 1, and things are going to be making it through. So I'm going to start off on the rogue here. I'm going to switch to the EV as soon as I get my very first staff, or decent staff anyway. The rogue is going to get the job done for me now. However, I will switch over to the EV as soon as I can. And let's see, we got 16 mobs left. We got a bunch of Gobus that made it through here. We got a Dark Elf Warrior, which is just criminal. Absolutely criminal to be in medium difficulty. It's not hardcore, so I don't care if the core takes a little damage. I just need to make sure it doesn't die. So just going to do my best to get through this one here. And, yeah, the core, like I said, can take a little damage without any problem. We just need to make sure it doesn't die. Wave 1, by far the toughest wave. all the way up to like wave 15. Just no doubt about it. Now, let's go ahead and get our points in that we have. And in fact, I need to check my loot filter as well. So since we're relying so much on the EV, we're going to get some points there on the EV. Additionally, we want some squire walls to be quite fat. So we're going to get some points in there as well. And then, you know, we're going to need our apprentice here for flyers. So let's go with a little bit of range there. And then we're also going to need our monk for some auras. Let's go with a little range there as well. Now, let me check my loot filter real quick. As you know, I should have done this in advance because a tiebreaker. Let's see. Let's just loot everything here at the beginning. Let me make sure that's saved. Appears that it did, so we are all good. Now, where do we want to continue on? Well, I want to get a wall. A little squire blockade action, say, right, where do we want it? Let's just put it right there, right at the base of the proton beams there. I think I am going to move all that back, though. We're going to have to see how that goes. We're going to get a couple of walls in here. Of course, right now, I've only got a couple of defenses unlocked, so not a whole lot I can do. We're going to throw walls up here to try to deter any flyers that come in. Hopefully they're going to go right down to the walls. And we're going to go with another, say, right here. Then we're going to go ahead and switch over and get some magic missiles down. I'm going to put magic missiles, I'm going to go 2 on each side right here. Now, I'll be replacing these as well as we continue on. However, just to get things started, this is what we're going with here, so let's see. We're also going to need some magic missile action over here. Because we got them flyers. And then we're going to need a wall down here. Now, I'm pretty happy with that. My basic strategy is going to be stack proton beams as soon as I get to level 20, we're going to be able to add in buff beams, which is going to be huge, and at that time we're going to have enough stat where it's going to be well worth it to swap over to wisps as well. So let's see, we've already got 3 there. We can go with another proton here. Let's just go ahead and slap one in right down the middle, and I think we can probably just let it fly here. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and get my ensnares in as well. We'll put an ensnare kind of back close to the wall here. We've got enough for one more, so I think I'll throw that in here since it's going to be one of the heavier lanes. And then let's continue on. Now, of course, we're going to have to do, we're going to have to build it all out here before I can jump forward. I do want to show the entire build that I'm using here, so we will get it done. Now, once again, it's one of those things. It's not, the very first qualifier is how far you can make it, which just making it to, say, wave 20 is going to be a huge, huge challenge. The second aspect, only for a tiebreaker, would be the speed. So, although speed is important, it is not the number one thing that you want to go with. You know, you want to make sure, and, you know, make sure you're going the duration. So, I'm going to try to make it as far as possible. This particular round, we had until noon Eastern time tomorrow morning, which means we can make as many attempts as we want and then put in the best run that we have. The first run that went out, we did live. All of the competitors did live over on Twitch yesterday. So that was quite the challenge, of course. And let's see, what do we have left? Well, you know, we know we're going to need some reflect beams. Now, additionally, since I know I can't actually build reflect beams yet, we have to be level 7 for those. So what else can we do? Well, we can finish out our auras. So let's just go ahead and get an ensnare aura right there. And then what else? We've got 28 DU left. I think we're going to want some auras up top as well. In fact, I never really got a dummy in here to aggro the flyers either. So let's throw a spike blockade, say, right there. I'm sure some range mobs may end up taking shots at it also. And then what else? Well, we could go more proton beams. You know, more proton beams would always be a good thing. But let's go ahead and get an ensnare aura here. Now, The ensnare R here obviously is not really going to do a whole lot, but as I get more and more range as we make it through, it's going to get larger and larger. So just those 2 points you see did that much. So definitely a nice bit of quality you get out of those ensnare R's by having a little bit more range. You know what? I better put those 2 points into my apprentice as well. And I think we will be good for the next wave. We do have 21 DU left, though. I want to spend the DU, you know, because I don't want... I want to be getting all the bonuses. You know, I want to get every bonus that I can. Let's go ahead and overkill the crap out of this lane. And then we can overkill the crap out of the bottom lane, too. And then we can use... Maybe we'll use the middle lane kind of as our weak lane. So let's go ahead and go with another 5 DU there. We'll go with... you know, let's go with 4 DU here. And it's a little bit sketchy, but that will leave me room for a 3rd magic missile. And I can kind of use that as last resort right here. So let's put 1 more magic missile right here. And then anything that does push past this area, or even down through this area, is going to have 3 magic missiles pounded on them. So that is going to be the build. And it's going to be a bit of a snoozer all the way up until probably wave 15, I think. It's going to be really, really smooth sailing. So I'm going to just go ahead and bounce on forward till we get to wave 20 and to the point where we're making a transition. Oh, you know what? I didn't put my reflect beams in. I've got to get to level 7, I believe, for reflect beams. So let's go ahead and continue on because the build is not ready quite yet. Now, you know, we'll see. I'm hoping to be able to complete it. On my first attempt, I got to wave 17. I think that was a really, really solid first attempt, and I learned a few things. And really, it's going to boil down to the balance between how many proton beams versus how many wisps once we get everything built out. But we are going to need to go ahead and manually burn everything. We should, well, I may not even get to level 7 right here off of this wave. Not positive. We're going to have to see how it goes. In fact, I have doubts. I have some doubts that we'll be able to do it. I should have stayed on the rogue. Stay on the rogue until you find yourself a staff. That's just the rule. The staffs, like I said, are going to be quite powerful. You know, we see there 352 DPS on that one. That's a huge, huge upgrade over what I am using currently. So that will be nice for sure. In fact, that may be our first staff, because that's going to be more DPS than the rogue can put out as well. Let's just see how far we get. What level we get to after completing this wave. And here is the challenge with crisscrossing the beams. I shouldn't have crisscrossed them all like this. And in fact, I think I'll probably make some changes to them right now. Because your archers are going to get in. Now, the benefit you got is we're about to put down... Oh, we're still not level 7 yet. So we can't put down the beams yet. Let's just go ahead and speed right through the next wave. And then we will certainly be in good enough shape to throw some of those beams down. So we'll get the reflect beams down and it will be GG's. Now, I'm just for speed, I am not going to put my points in every wave. I'm going to put them in like maybe every 2 waves, maybe even every 3 waves, until we get into the later rounds. Now, once we get into the later rounds, of course, every wave, the stat you get gained from every wave is going to be significant. So it will be important to keep the points flowing then. But as you see right now, it's just kind of easy mode, burning right through all the bads. The proton beams at level 1 with no real stats are just the most powerful thing in the game. They just are. So that will be, without a doubt, what gets me through this challenge here. particularly through the early waves. Get wrecked. And you get wrecked as well. Yeah, see, there's just too many gaps. Ideally, in this situation, with, say, 4 beams, you have 2 in the X, and then 2 going straight down the lanes on the sides. And that is going to give you really, really nice lane coverage. As it is right here, we just don't have really solid lane coverage. And sadly, I was hoping that Wyvern was going to go down to that wall, so I may need to rethink my wall placement here as well. Bring the wall up a little higher and move the magic missiles down a little further, I think. Would probably be the thing to do. Seeing what do we have left? We've got 1 mob here. Actually, it's an archer, and it is right over here in that dead spot. So yeah, we got some work to do here. We can put down our reflect beams now. So let's see. Let's leave the big X out there, and let's rethink this entire setup here. I think a better build is going to be to go something like this. So we'll go ahead and go with a proton beam there. And then we'll go with a proton beam like right here. Now, additionally, we're going to go ahead and get our reflect beams in now, as the reflect beams are going to save the day versus any of those archers that do get into the dead zones. Now, I have to be careful where I'm placing these and make sure I'm placing them down far enough. Same thing here. I kind of mixed emotions on this one. I may end up leaving it. I'm not sure. Like I said, really, really mixed emotions here. Let me see. If I put a reflect beam down here, that's not going to protect the bottom of that wall. So I think I need to rebuild this entire lane and move everything up to the top. So let's get our wall. Where do we want to put it? Let's put our wall at the very top of the stair here. We'll move this ensnare R back as well. And then we'll go, say, something like this. We'll get our reflect beam in, but we'll put it down a few stairs. That way it has very good coverage of the very bottom of the blockade there. And then we'll go with one of the big X's on the outside. And then we'll go, let's say, just go 1 through the middle. And then we'll get our ensnare down. And then how about down here? Well, down here we need our reflect beam in. Let's go ahead and drop the reflect beam, say, right about there. And then here, to be honest, I just think I want to do the exact same thing. So I've got an extra beam down here. Now, the reason I put the extra beam down here is this lane traditionally is going to just really get hammered by ogres. So, in fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go with a 4 DU beam there. And a 4 DU beam there. Is that what I want to do? I don't want to put the wisps in yet. I think it's too early. I don't have enough stat. I'm not going to have enough gear. I tell you what, since we've got the extra beam, let's do this. We'll put 4 DU there. We'll put 4 DU here. 4 DU right here. Maybe? And then that's going to leave me 4 DU where I can jack up this top lane a little bit. Now, I am going to want to take a look at my gear now. So there should be some big changes to the gear. Now, with the stat being such a small amount, I'm not going to sweat getting set bonuses. I know, that's criminal. But the stats that I get are going to be very little. So going for a set bonus, getting the 40% increased stat, is going to end up being very little stat. And I think I'm going to be able to actually get more off of using... oops, did I make that too long? That's alright, we can go 4 DU right here. I think I'm going to get more stat over just mix and matching the sets. Now I'm going to try to put a set together, of course. but I'm not going to sweat it if I can't. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape there as well. And let's take a look at the loot. Now, of course, you know, we're DPSing now on our EV, so I think that is going to be a good item. Actually, I got to have level 12 to equip that. Looks like I'm not going to be able to equip most of the weapons here, but what I can do is go with, say, some militia gear. Look at that, 9. I can't equip that yet. Crazy good, though. I'm going to want to keep that item. What else do we have? Let's see, we've got 1 power there. And then... we actually got 2 power on that head. Let's go ahead and take that. Oh, nope, can't equip it yet. Can't equip that chest either. So still lacking quite a bit in the gear department, but we do get some weapons, something that's going to be an upgrade, right? Actually, none of these weapons are equipable yet either. Holy smokies. But, so we're going to just roll with it for right now. I do want to get my stat in. So once again, on the EV, we're going to prioritize power. On our Squire, we're going to prioritize Fortify. I could also get, let's apply that. And on the Squire, we'll put some guard gear on. Just whatever we can get to get a little bit of fort here. Let's see, no other guard gear yet. And then on the Monk, I think fort would be the stuff to stick with, maybe? Maybe we'll go with an ancient set there for now. And just get a few fort, a little bit of fort in the mix here. And then all of my skill points I'm going to put directly into range. So no other points there, and we will continue to range it up right here. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump on forward to a future wave and see if we can't get this done. But we're in a position now where I am going to want to go ahead and switch over to the EV. Actually, did I get a weapon? Yeah. Or no, that's my starter weapon. I actually don't have a weapon for the EV at all yet, which means I want to stay on the rogue until I can get something decent and worth using. But let's go ahead and jump on forward to a future wave where we make a little bit of a transition in the build here. Alright, and here we go. We are in wave number 13 now. We finally hit wave 20, and it is time to completely transition over the build. So, let's see. Let's sell everything first, or everything that we know we're going to want to sell. Let's get rid of... we may end up using some of these beams anyway, but with 19,000 mana that we're sitting on, I can always replace them and upgrade them if I need to. But let's go ahead and transition it over. Now, the first thing we want to do... well, the first thing we want to do is look through the loot. So, let's start off right here with Mr. Monk. Now, I did end up going with set bonuses. So, I just got lucky and I found some good pieces. So, I'm using set bonuses, I think, across the board on every hero. I would have loved to have gotten some Inspired Defense going on my EV, but it just didn't work out. So let's see if we got any more gear. That's a little bit of an upgrade. We'll take that guy. What else do we have? Now, I've been going through the gear like every 2 waves. I haven't done it every wave just because I do want to watch the clock a little bit. See, that's even a little bit more of an upgrade, so let's take that one. I don't think we're going to do better than those boots. Alright, so the Monk is looking good. I'm still going everything into range on the Monk. Now, if we look at our Squire, I didn't go with the set bonuses because I found this. 12 fort worked out to more than I was getting off the set bonus. Actually, it might not so much anymore. But, of course, we're going full on fort on our Squire. Let's see if we've got any decent guard pieces here. So, of course, I want one with Guardian's Grace on it, if I can find something with a decent amount of fort. But I'm going to have to, you know, RNG is RNG, so let's see what we get. That one is a slight upgrade. Doesn't look like... actually, there's another slight upgrade. And let's see, now, did we find a better helmet? Now, what does this put us at? That puts us at 87 fort. Now, if we went with the correct set piece, and we went with, say, this Guardian's Grace, I think that will be a little bit better. So let's check that out now. Is it exactly the same? It is. It's exactly the same. All right, so it didn't even matter. I'm just going to stick with the set bonus then, just because. And then, let's see, on our EV, we're going all militia gear. Now, we're going to be making a little bit of a change here. We got 2 power there. That is a huge upgrade, but that's Inspired Defense. Would love to get a full Inspired Defense set, no doubt. Looks like we may not have anything. I might be able to get a weapon here. Now that's, it's only 1, but, you know, I'll take it. And same thing here. It's only 1, but I'll take it. So, nothing wrong with that. A little downgrade there. Nothing else. Now let's see the staffs. I've got 1 with fire damage and 1 with physical damage. So that is what I'm going with. Now, additionally, I did 1 little change on the EV, and that was I'm worried about the EV survivability. So I did throw a few points into Vitality. We got 10 points there now. In fact, I'm going to split them. I'm going to go 4 and 4 on the Vitality. And then we've got our lovely Apprentice. Now, a few things I would have done differently here. First, let's go through the gear here. We got a little upgrade there. Now, what I would have done differently is I would have not brought the Rogue. I know, sounds shocking, but right now I'm really, really missing gas traps. I think, even though I wouldn't be using the Huntress at all through the early waves, I think having the gas traps right now would be a super nice addition. But the problem is if I get the Huntress into the mix now, well, the Huntress is going to be at level 1. So, yeah, that's just not good. So we are looking good on all of our builders. Let's go ahead and trash. Do we want to trash everything? Yeah, we didn't see a better staff, huh? I don't think so. Why is that not pulling up? Let me see. Oh, there we go. 224, 256. No, we're just not getting any good staffs there. So let's just go ahead and we'll sell everything off now. And, get our transition in. Now, what's our transition going to be? Well, we're going to be dumping the proton beams. I'm going to dump all the proton beams. Well, I may not dump all the proton beams, but I'm planning on it. And the reason being is we are at level 20, which means we've got buff beams now, but additionally, we are going to take all of our gear off of our Apprentice and no longer going to be using the Apprentice because it is time for the Wisp to have its glory day. Now, we need to go all range, every point into range on our Wisps, and then we're just going to go ahead and put that Apprentice gear on right here. Now, how are we going to do this? Well, we got buff beams, of course, and now we've got Wisps. So, looking at the Wisps, the range on them is not great, but after we get a few upgrades in, oh yeah, the range is going to be much, much better. So, let's see, if we throw some roots right here, do we want to go over here too? I mean, I don't see why not, to be honest. Well, why not is it would be an entirely different buff beam altogether. But I think our range is still going to be a little bit suspect where we don't want to go full on. Let's see, now over here, I think we'll go something like right here. Do I want to go down below too? Well, let's see how it all works out. First thing we got to do is get some buff beams down. So let's go ahead and drop 3 DU buff beams. We're going to drop 1 right here. Going to drop 1, say, right here. Now, in addition, on this side is going to get some ogre action. So I'm going to throw another reflect beam in. Just say something like that to give us a little bit of protection versus those ogre snot balls. So hopefully that's going to cover it there. You know what? I think I could actually move the buff beam up a little bit higher, and that would give me a little bit more of a safety window there. And then what about here? Well, you know, same thing here. Let me go ahead and sell that. I think I want to move that back into a little safer zone. We'll put it like right there. Let it tank out some of the flyers here. Provide a little bit of flyer aggro. And then we're going to go something like right here. So let's get another little 3DU buff beam right here. And then down below, I got mixed emotions because we can double dip a little on the wisps up top there. But I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and put down behind. I'm going to protect this blockade with a buff beam as well. Then I'm going to throw some roots somewhere behind here. Where do we want it? Let's just put it like right there. And then that's going to leave me 67 DU. And what are we going to do with the 67? Well, of course, we're going to spam the shit out of wisps. You know we are. But first things first, we are going to try some enrage auras. Now, this is a little bit of an experiment here. It may or may not go gloriously. We'll have to see here. I do want to get it in the buff beam down here. So, let's see. Let's go like right about there, say. Let's get some enrages going over here as well. Now, the proton beams have been providing a lot of power, but we all know the wisps are just quite glorious. And, you know, we're going to continue on with that gloriousness. So I'm just wanting to catch the buff beam there. And then I don't think I'm going to be able to catch this one. So we'll just drop it kind of just right in front there. Now, what does that leave me? That leaves me 52. If my math is correct, that is 13 wisps that I can put down. So 13 wisps. Where do I want them? Well, you know, starting things off, I think I want, say, 2. You know what? We could probably... No, let's just go 2 right there. Now, in addition to that, I want to get... Do we want to get 2 or do we want more? Let's put more. Let's put 4 of them down here. So there's 6. So I've got 7 more wisps that I can put in. And I think what I'm going to do is go 4 right here. I'm going to tuck these up as close as I can behind the reflect beam as well. So I'm not going to, like, put them perfectly down the buff beam where it would be like a 2x2. I'm going to go ahead and protect those a little bit. And then that's going to leave me 12 DU. And the 12 DU is going to get me 3 more wisps. Now, we've got 18,000 mana. With 18,000 mana, we can get some upgrades in, there's no doubt. So, after we upgrade our wisps, we can take them up to level 4 now. So, after we upgrade our wisps and then take a look at their range, it is much, much better. So it covers this entire flyer area. It's covering all the way down into here. And then, of course, as we get more and more stat, they're just going to get better and better. So let's upgrade our buff beam. Let's upgrade our wisps. And we should be able to upgrade all the way around. Now, what this is going to do, well, in theory, it hasn't happened yet. But in theory, this is going to turn us into a game of staring at the tactical map. So we'll be able to just watch the tac map respond anywhere that there is a, you know, an ogre, and then go from there. Ooh, I missed that wall there. See, we're actually going to be able to upgrade everything, so that's a good thing. I mean, of course, we're limited as to how far we can upgrade them up, but it looks like we are going to get all of the stuffs in. And we got 4,000 left over, so what can we do with the 4,000? Well, let's check and see, make sure there's no more upgrades to be had. Even going to upgrade those roots, just because that's... you know, the more upgrades on the roots, well, the more health they're going to have. So, don't want our roots going down. It looks like I actually missed all of my my spike blockades there. All right, and we are looking pretty good. So, we're still staying on the EV. I haven't ended up using the rogue at all past those first waves. Once you get a staff, the EV's just good. You get 2 different elements because you got the 2 different weapons. Now, of course, you can do that on the rogue, too, but one of them would be a sword then. And, yeah, it is time to get all sorts of Wispalicious here and let these wisps do their thing. Now, this map is a grinder. It just has a lot of mobs that are super slow spawning, and the map just takes absolutely forever to run. It's not a Tornado Highlands or anything, but it does take an excessive amount of time, no doubt. But we're going to have that luxury of just staring at the mini-map and waiting to see what's up. Now, I got mixed emotions on these enrages. We're going to have to see how that goes. That's 5 DU per lane. That's 5, right? Let me see. It is over here. Yeah, that's 5 DU per lane. So that would be another wisp on every lane where I have those. So let's check out this ogre down here. That ogre just got completely stomped. So good stuff there. We've got enough wisp action in between here and with these down here to cover the flyers. So we're in great shape there as well. I'm liking it. I'm liking where the build's going now. Obviously, it's only wave 13. We got a long way to go here. But this is what we are doing right now, and I am digging it. So as we get more and more stat, I'm going to keep going into the range of the wisps. Obviously they do really well with power as well. However, we're going to get our range good and fat. Now, I'm going to kind of check the range as we're going here and decide exactly what we want to do with it. Now, additionally, although power is a great benefit to buff beams, I am debating on pulling a few points in that power on my EV now and going into attack so that I do a little bit more damage, because we're going to get to a point where the ogres are just getting super thick here. So watching the map, of course we got the Dark Elf Warriors out the what, but yeah, it is looking pretty darn snazzy right now. These wisps are getting the job done. So excited to see how far I can make it. Like I said, my first attempt, I only went to wave 17, so hoping to be able to clear it out here on this one. But we will have to see. So I think this wave is probably a done deal. We've got nothing really left. All of the ogres are already dead. You see our flyers are just getting raffle stomped up here now. Watch this guy. 6,000 health. Oh, 4,700 damage per wisp. Yeah, flyers are no longer a problem at all. The magic missiles do really good early, but of course the further you go, the more their effectiveness starts to drop off a little bit. They do get the nice bit from range upgrades, but wyverns get tanky, and what can you do? So, loving the setup right now. So let's go ahead. We did the before. This is the mid-range, and let's go ahead and jump on forward to those last final few waves. And here we go, y'all. Wave number 24. We got all of our... actually, everything on the map is upgraded to level 5 now. So we're able to get everything juiced up to level 5. Let's take a quick look through the gear. So close. I ended up putting sets together on everything. So I have points on my monk still. Yeah, I do. Just go right into range there. On the Squire, we are in the lovely guard set. Yeah, ended up getting the set bonus on every hero, though, which is kind of nice. Let's see, we got Militia here. There's a little upgrade. Very nice. Found some nice pieces. Now, this is the reason I wanted the DPS on the EV. There are nice staffs that drop early game. I got this bad boy. I mean, come on. That is a beast of a staff for a level 20 required staff. Super lucky. Now, you notice this as you're playing through, yeah, and like your first purple item ever is always a staff. And that is the reason I wanted to go with staffs. And then we've got our Warden. Let's see. Anything extra shiny for the Warden? Does not look like it. So let's get back over to our EV. I've been playing extremely aggressively. So I'm just spawn camping, shooting at the spawns the whole time, keeping an eye on that tech map and watching for ogres come out. Now, in addition to that, remember now that the EV has the DD2 flavored EV, you can drop decoys from all kinds of places. So say I wanted decoy like right here in the lane, I can pop a decoy and go right back up onto the roof. So it's super, super nice. We get that decoy down in the lane there. Now let's keep an eye out for these ogres. I don't want to get the old face palm here right at the end. Everything's going pretty good, though. Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? It's the wisps. The wisps are strong. So we do have a bottom lane ogre. We're going to go ahead and get a decoy there. Make sure we keep this ogre all wrapped up. And it looks like the wisps are going to make light work of him anyway. The enrage aura has done good, y'all. Now, I do wish I would have taken gas traps. Not going to lie. I would rather have gas traps, but I didn't take them. I didn't want to start another level 1 character late in the run. However, you know, what can you do? So the Enrage Aura did good. Now let's just keep an eye on that mini-map. This particular map is a bit of a grinder. I'm sure that somebody will submit some 2-hour and 30-minute, 2-hour and 20-minute runs or whatever. But I think this one's probably going to end at like 240 or 250. Where are we at? Actually, we might end up doing 240. We'll have to see how fast they go. Now, I'm not going to bother with the gear, assuming Wave 24 holds up. I'm just going to put my points in. So that's going to help as well. Now, additionally, I forgot to look at the EV points, but I started putting points into attack. And with that in mind, on that really nice staff I found, it has 50 vitality on it, which is huge, huge. So I was putting points into vitality to give myself a little bit more survivability, but I ended up pulling those points out and going into attack just because it was so many points. You know, I ended up not needing them. So awesome stuff right there. You see the Enrage Aura at work. It turned that ogre right around and brought him on over. Now we got us some flyers here. Looks like they're taken care of though. The ogre is down, and let's just keep an eye on that mini map. Or the tack map, pardon me. We actually had an ogre right here. I didn't even notice, but barely got a shot off on the wall, so we are in great shape there. And let's see. Let's go ahead and drop a decoy right there. The decoy is huge. It is absolutely huge, no doubt. Now, looking at that tack map, I got a blue drop down below, hoping that is armor and not a weapon. We actually have a bunch of green drops now, so the greens here in Wave 24 are flowing. I don't want to scrub out on the time because I know a lot of the other competitors are really, really good speedrunners, and I am not. I am a slow rolling, enjoy the experience, not rushing things, you know, and that a lot of the other competitors definitely have a leg up on me. Now, I am assuming, just as well as my run did, I am assuming most players are probably going to complete this. Most players that are in the round 2 of the competition will probably complete the map without any issue. So it's all about the time, you know, assuming everyone completes it. Now, assuming I complete it, it's not over yet. I'm rushing things a bit, pretending like it is over, and oh, it is not over. The ogres are down. But that is about it. Now, I am just curious what that blue item is. It looks like it is a staff, yeah. So, no luck there. Unless, does it have stat? Does not have any stat on it. Now, another thing I wanted to look at is right now my set bonus doesn't match. So, is that an Inspired Assault? It actually is. I'm going to pick that bad boy up, and I'm going to put it on this weapon. That way I get that Inspired Assault, and that is going to give me a 20% damage increase straight off, right out of the gate. So good stuff there. Let's get our points in here. We're going to continue to go into range on our Squire. It is all about the fort. The EV, I've got it mixed now. As I mentioned, I started going into attack. So I'm at 135 power, 64 attack, 51 vitality. Getting the vitality, of course, from that staff. Now, I would love to have another weapon with some stat on it. Ideally, either attack or vitality would be huge. But I think for this last one, let's just dump it right into attack. And then we've got our Wispdeliciousness. And here I started going into power. So let's get that power going as well. I do want to check the box here. Most of the good drops are going to come out of this. Let us see. We got a... That's actually even Steven piece there, so I'm not going to worry about that. So let's let it fly. I do want to get up to my little safety position here. I don't want to start off dying right at the beginning of the wave. But, yeah, let's let it happen here. Let's get aggressive. We'll keep an eye out for any ogres. Where are we at? We're 237. So I think we're going to come in around 240. We'll have to see here, which I am pretty stoked about that. Now, it hasn't been fun. Pushing the time, you have to be motivated to want to push the time. And I am never really very motivated to push the time. I always prefer the win over sweating the time. And I think that is really to my disadvantage in this particular competition. As, like I said, a lot of the competitors are really, really good speedrunners. So, going to be pretty stoked if I can come in at that 240 mark. We are going to have to wait and see here. The last map in this one, there's going to be a couple more rounds till it gets down to the final two. And the last map on this one is going to be the Summit, which is going to be quite the challenge, no doubt. But excited to see exactly, how well people perform here. Zero Zinga was a beast in the very first round. He absolutely wrecked it and beat everybody, came out in first place. So I managed to get through into the winner's bracket in the first round. But Zero Zinga definitely wrecked all the faces. So I'm assuming he is going to perform very, very well in round 2 here as well. And probably all the way through. So we will see how we doing. We don't have... I think we still have another ogre to come. It's all about the ogres now at this point. Everything else, there's either the enrage auras to slow enemies up, or, the flyers, of course. The wisps are just taken care of. We do have another ogre. We got one really, really close here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and drop a dummy right there and see if we can't burn this ogre out. Doing nice damage here now, though. And how about the one down below? The one down below got wrecked. Are my walls safe? Looking good. So, yeah. Doing all right. So, 300 mobs left. This map is grueling. I'm surprised they picked this one, to be honest with you. I really thought, as I think I mentioned earlier, I thought they were going to stick to, like, Act 1. Just to make the whole tournament progress a little bit faster. This one is quite the challenge, no doubt. Yeah, but we're getting it. 245 left now. And we're done with ogres, y'all. Done with ogres is a good thing, that is for sure. Those wisps are wrecking it. Our projectiles, we're doing 1,000 per projectile. And this is, what is this, a 6 projectile weapon? I think this is a 6 projectile weapon. So, I mean, we're dishing out some pain too. Doing fairly decent. Like I said, 1,000 per projectile. You get that into an ogre and get close enough for all the projectiles to hit. And we got some nice damage here. Let's keep these decoys floating, no doubt. That lower lane is, it's a lane that I want to completely ignore, but I can't stop looking at. It's one of those things. So, I mean, if I would have built that lane a little bit stronger down below, which it is the strongest lane, because I've got these 2 wisps up top that are also hitting into that lower lane as well. However, we're just about there. We got 4 enemies left, and where are they? Oh, they're stuck. We got some stuck mobs over here. Let's go get these mobs wrecked out. Hopefully they are not spawn protected. No, they are not. So we should be able to get these guys no problem. Let's just burn them up here and then collect our win. Now, hopefully, hopefully this run is going to be good enough to advance me in the competition. It will be going live today over on Twitch. I'm not sure at the exact times, but I think it's going to start at around noon Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Not positive on that time, but I will be streaming the next round over on the Twitches. But that will get it for now. Thanks a ton for watching, and here is my end screen. 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 37 seconds. So, not fantastic. Obviously, that took a long-ass time. But I think that may still be a competitive time. Hopefully so. But anyway, thanks a ton, y'all, and I will see you all soon. Take it easy.